The Roaring Fork is a popular spot in Scottsdale. It is also a river that runs through Aspen, Colorado. The restaurant touts the great Western cuisine of Robert McGrath. He helped open it in 1997 after getting much attention at the Scottsdale Phoenician Resort. Here is his crawfish skillet gratin.
We start with some bacon, pearl onions, green beans, shallots, mushrooms, red bell pepper, and garlic. I think the bacon, the fat cooking out of the bacon, we're not a health food restaurant, by the way, in case you all haven't picked up on that yet. But the flavor of the bacon, the pork fat, to me really works well with shellfish. Whether it's crawfish or lobster or shrimp, I like that association very much. We're going to add some green beans, some pearl onions, and we're going to get this mixed up a little bit. That went right in the garbage can for you TV viewers at home. We would never throw any food on the floor here.
The beans and onions were pre-cooked.
I'm going to add some mushrooms, get those started. And some chopped shallots. And some red bell pepper. Now the red bell pepper has been roasted, peeled, cleaned out of seeds, and then cut into a sort of a coarse shape. We try to get our cuts here looking as natural as possible. We're not into very highly manicured foods. We're more concerned with the quality of the ingredients that we're using and with the overall flavor of the dish.
The last ingredient was chopped garlic.
After we've added those ingredients, and let those saute for just a little bit, we're going to add some crawfish tails. Excuse me. Now you can use rock shrimp to substitute for the crawfish if you're not in a part of the country where you have access to these. To me, the crawfish, the meat's very firm and sweet. Again, it works well with the bacon. And we're going to let those warm up just a little bit. We're going to get this burner hot because we're going to be topping this off with a little piece of magic here in a second. We're going to add white wine. We're going to let that reduce quickly. And we're going to add a little bit of cream. I suggest that before you add the entire amount of the cream in the recipe, that you let this reduce first a little bit. And then we're going to add a little adobo sauce. Now, you don't need much of this. You can get a lot of mileage out of a small amount of this. And this is available pretty much around the country anymore. You should be able to find this adobo sauce in most Mexican food sections of just about any restaurant, not even a specialty restaurant. If you have trouble finding just the adobo sauce, you can always find the chipotle chilies in adobo sauce, and then just use your spoon to collect the sauce out of that. We're going to add a little kosher salt and a little fresh cracked black pepper. We're going to pull that over here and just continue to reduce that. And I'm going to get this skillet hot real quick. Now, one of the things that we like doing at this restaurant is what we call cutting flavors. We like the flavors to be highly contrasting. So they need to be compatible. They need to be flavors that will work together, but that cut through each other, so that heightens the sensation of each of the flavors. We are not into doing the homogeneous flavors and everything's so subtle that the nuances are barely perceivable. We want the flavors to be robust. We want them to slash through each other. And so this is why we add something like the chipotle or the adobo sauce into the crawfish, and why we're going to top it with some Hudson Valley foie gras. This has become something of a very recognizable ingredient in a short time. Michael Ganor has really enabled this product to get into the mainstream. Now you want this skillet just to get hot enough where you're just about smoking, but I don't want to put it on this right now on the heat. I want to pull it off the heat a little bit and let it sear off the heat. And I'm going to take this crawfish gratin that we've done, and we're going to put it into a small skillet. You want to keep an eye on the foie gras behind you. You do not want to let it overcook or burn because it will just reduce itself into fat. So we're going to top this with a little bit of the sauce we have in here. We're going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs on top. Now you can do this in a bowl as well. It does not need to be done in a skillet. And then we're going to take this piece of foie gras and just add it right on top. And from there you would put it in your broiler at home. And we're going to let that brown up nicely. We're going to take that, we're going to serve it on a plate with a folded napkin to keep the skillet from sliding around. And we're going to garnish it with some small sprigs of chervil. Now this dish can be done in a variety of ways. Obviously, the way we're doing it is simply a suggestion. If you don't prefer to have cream in your recipe, omit the cream. If you don't care to have the adobo sauce in there, omit the adobo sauce. The idea here is we're trying to give you a dish that has the potential to be moved around according to your particular taste, but you need the crawfish, you need the onions, you need the foie gras, and what we have here is a skillet gratin of crawfish, green beans, and foie gras.